Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Spectacular day here in Duval, and I'm kind of taking on the coach's mentality right now. I kind of want to go through that whole turn the page like the players do, the coaches do. Yesterday's a rehab day. It's a treatment day. They put it away. They look at the film. Thanks to the National Football League Players Association, today is a hard-earned, day off. And then Wednesday, the focus is on Cleveland, and that's the way it is, right? They are professionals. You got to forget about it. You got to move on. Around here, we don't have to do that. We can relive it. And I've always looked at tomorrow. I've always looked at Wednesday as really the new week in the NFL. Totally different from college football. College football can linger for an entire season. But what's great about the NFL, and what has always been great about the NFL, is whether it's, going way back to 12 games or 14 games or 16 games or 17 games, or no matter how many teams make the playoffs, you play till you lose. And not like college football, where the end of the year, 50-some-odd teams walk away victorious. They win a Pop-Tart Bowl, or they win whatever. It's crazy, but it's really the only sport that ends that way. If you look at the National Hockey League, if you look at the NBA, if you look at Major League Baseball, if you look at the NCAA tournament in college basketball, whether it's men or women's, college baseball, every other sport, there's a loser. And you end up with one winner. College football, there are plenty of season-ending winners. But anyway, I was almost tempted to do that today and pour right into Cleveland. Cleveland's a beaten-up team. Both their tackles are out. Jedrick Willis starting left tackle, Jack Conklin starting right tackle. All the early vibe out of Cleveland is that both could be ready for this weekend's game against the Jaguars. David Njoku, as we know, went down with an injury. I think a lot of people watched the game last week, probably just to get a feel for Tom Brady. Now as a broadcaster, I also understand I'm talking to some great Jaguar fans who are always going to watch their next opponent, right? And there's not as many 4 o'clock games as there are 1 o'clock games. But again, I think I'll save most of that for tomorrow. But I'll tell you, I was tempted to get after that today and just say, forget about it, move on. But then it really hit me. This game was so aggravating for you, because there hasn't been a lot of games against what I would term not only a good opponent, but possibly a very good opponent in Miami that I think some would say started slowly. I would disagree with that. I think Jacksonville got after it in the first 30 minutes of play. I mean, the defense was absolutely spectacular. That's a team that averaged nearly 30 points a game one season ago. We know their offense was number 2 in the NFL when it came to scoring, only behind Dallas. For what it's worth, if you look at last year's numbers, this week's opponent is the exact opposite. Cleveland was number 1 in total defense a year ago, all right? They also only allowed just a smidge over 21 points. I think right now, and just about any week for that matter, if 21 points was the number, you would love that defensively, right? I mean, if the Jaguars defense every single Sunday can hold their opponent to 21 points, doesn't Trevor Lawrence and this Jaguars offense have to give you more? The answer to that question is absolutely yes. And when you go back and you watch what did occur and just how well that defense played early on, and then how it fell apart late, but it fell apart with 2 particular things they could not handle. Number 1, and I know to you it's not going to be number 1, it's going to be number 2, but I'm going to make it number 1. They have to do a better job in the screen game. They're just, and I thought Devin Lloyd was all over the place. What did Pro Football Focus have Devin Lloyd at, 87.3 He was their best defensive player in week one. The other linebacker, Foye Oluokun, 80.8. So they're two best defensive players. And, you saw Trayvon Walker with a couple of sacks. I thought Darnell Savage played really well. It was Lloyd who had the best marks of them all. He just looked free. He looked loose. East to west speed. The ability to not necessarily think too much, but just trust his football instincts. Would have liked to have seen him rush the quarterback a little bit more, but I thought it was a real good job for Devin Lloyd. Still, the problem there, they certainly ate up the run, but what became a version of their run, kind of like what New England did forever, is throwing the ball to their backs out of the backfield. And that was something that really hurt the Jaguars in this game. And then you look at big plays. And that's why these guys get paid. That's why Tyreek Hill makes all that money. That's why Jalen Waddle is arguably one of the top, top 5, top 7, number 2 wide receivers in the NFL. And you paid Tua all this money. I read a lot of articles this week. Tua is better than Trevor. I'm like, no. He's not better than Trevor. He beat him. Okay? Right now, and I'm heading towards that in just a minute, Trevor has to be given the opportunity to win that game. And whether he checked out of it, whether he, with his audibles, forced the run, or they just sat on the lead, that to me becomes an even bigger issue than anything that they have done defensively. But they allowed 2 huge plays, the 80-yard touchdown with Tyreek Hill, and they were basically the same play, just going the opposite way, right? Hill lined up on the right side, a post pattern that went left. And then you look at Waddle, who lined up on the left side, a post pattern that went right. We didn't get into this yesterday, but Doug Peterson, and this is a first-timer, okay? And for the record, before I play the clip, it's a short one, I love it. I absolutely love it. And I get that where we are today, college or pro, you have to be so careful not to hurt the feelings of your players, right? They're very sensitive, whether it's public or whether it's private. The whole world of coaching has changed. But when you get to your coaching staff, I still believe, whether it's behind closed doors and every once in a while, even out in the open, in the media, things need to be said. Now, what's really ironic about this, before I play the clip or before JJ does, is that it's fascinating to me because this defense was good enough to win. They held the team that scored 30 a year ago to 20, okay? They held them to only 7 in the first half. They gave up 2 big plays. They also had a pass interference, right, by Tyson Campbell, as we know, is going to be out for a couple of weeks. And everything I saw with the defense looked like it was already marked improvement, but there's also a couple of areas like the screen game where you believe with the right coaching and being able to go out and make halftime adjustments, they're going to get better. Lost in all of this, first-time defensive coordinators. We're all aware of Ryan Nielsen. Great first half. They struggled in the second half. Miami, first time with the Dolphins, defensive coordinator, Anthony Weaver. He was spectacular with his halftime adjustments. Jacksonville scored 17 points in the first half. They did not score in the final 30 minutes of play. So that, to me, is what is fascinating about this is Peterson in his comment about Ryan Nielsen, and some, today, my Twitter feed, what have you, the defense. The defense played well enough to win this game. It's the offense that didn't get it done, especially in the second half. First things first, let's go to yesterday. Here's Doug Peterson on his new defensive coordinator, Ryan Nielsen.
I'll say this, and I'll never do this. We have to coach the play better. And it's the play they ran all game.
I love it. I love it. I don't know Ryan Nielsen. I've met him a couple of times. I love it. I think, why not? Put it out there. And I know many of you right now are saying, well, whoa. He's never done anything like that before. And he certainly has never done anything like that when it comes to Press Taylor, who, and one thing about the Jaguars audience, and JJ and I talk about this all the time, one thing that I've always kind of marveled with you folks over is it seems like you pick a guy, one or two, that, well, let's just call it your naughty list. Can we start a naughty list around here? What do you think about that, JJ? Huh? People can maybe
like
look at that
week,
differently.
Obviously, last year, week number 1 was Tank.
Right.
What a turnaround it's been. Are we giving it to ETN this week?
I was going to say...
But you don't see fans going at ETN like...
No. I was going to say right now is that...
It's Peterson.
No, it's Press.
Well, it's, yeah.
Okay? I mean, this fan base loves to identify one or two guys, and they're all on them. Okay? I mean, I can go back... I mean, let's just go back 5 years ago. Let's start with Luke Jokel. You guys crushed him. Okay? Let's go to Tyson Campbell, his first 8 games. You crushed him. I can rewind some of these tapes. Back when he was Josh Allen. Not Josh Hines Allen, but Josh Allen. And how you crushed him. How you crushed Tank Bigsby a year ago. I'm sure every fan base does it. But it seems like you latch on to a player. And right now, maybe the guy that you're disappointed in most, which is really shocking to me, is Tim Jones, who had 1 snap on Sunday, but he's a 4-core special teamer, and he's important to that phase of the game. And every time I say it, and I'm sure it's coming to me right now, it's 641-1010 on our text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. It sounds a little bit like this. Hey, Ballou, stop it. When has Tim Jones ever made a play? All right, that's typically your response. But it feels like you're on people. And right now, Press Taylor's up there. We've never heard Doug say anything like that before when it comes to Press Taylor. So the point I'm trying to make, the defense was good enough to win this game. It is the offense that struggled. If you look at their possessions, after that fumble, it was part of a 6-play, 80-yard drive. I mean, they started from their own 6-yard line. They drove the field. During that drive, Tank Bigsby had a 26-yard carry. He was taking it in. He fumbled. We all know what happened. Instead of going up 21-17, 1 play later, it was 17-14. It was legitimately a 14-point swing in 2 plays. Instead of being up, you're only up by 3 instead of being up by 17. It's just incredible how that actually happened during that particular juncture of the game. But look at what happened after the fact. It's a field goal game. You have a chance to win it. The Jaguars in the 4th quarter. Are you ready? 4 plays, 7 yards. They turned it over on downs. They went from their own 32-yard line, and Cam Robinson missed the block. That Miami defense looked fierce. Yesterday, Doug Peterson talked about Jalen Ramsey setting the edge. We all remember ETN. And it's so easy for me to say this now, and I'm going to do it anyway. But isn't that what Tank's for? Isn't that supposed to be what this team is for this year on 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 4th and 1? And I know that that's a little bit of a discredit to Travis Etienne because he did lead the NFL last year in yards after contact. And he had scored a touchdown earlier in the game at goal line. And if he didn't have that ball knocked out, he would have taken in 2 rushing touchdowns. And that would have been the premier conversation piece yesterday and today. Look at the Jaguars' offensive line. Look at the Jaguars' rushing attack. They already ended up with, 126. They go up there and score. Who knows what the final numbers would have looked like? They may have run it for 150, 160 yards. You still had an entire 4th quarter to play. It's amazing how things can change. But anyway, 4 plays, turnover on downs. Next possession, 4 plays, 16 yards, punt. That means they picked up 1 first down. Final possession, 3 plays, minus 10 yards. Their last 2 offensive plays were sacks. Cam gave one up. Anton Harrison gave one up. Turned over on downs. So they went fumble, turned over on downs, punt, and punt. Trevor Lawrence attempted 7 passes in the second half. Did the defense give up big plays? Yes. Does the defense need to learn more than anything how to handle a screen? Yes. Did the defense lose this game Sunday in Miami? Hell no. This is on the offense. It's on the coaching staff. It's on the players. They need to call better plays. They need to hang on to the football. They were 2 of 10 on third down. Christian Kirk had 2 third down drops. Evan Ingram had a drop. They need to call better plays. You just gave this guy $275 million, and I thought he looked really sharp in the first half. He looked confident. He felt like he trusted his line. He trusted his personnel. He made some throws that only a few people in the world can make, including the touchdown to Brian Thomas Jr. You were 4 for 4 with this guy. He didn't even get a ball thrown to him in the second. How does that work? How does that happen? So if you're blaming the defense, fine, have at it. But you're wrong. This falls on the offense. And this falls on the coaching staff and the lack of putting the game. No more of this youngster stuff. Oh, he lost a year with Urban. Oh, he was hurt 5 times last year. Oh, he's got news. No, you just paid this guy incredible money. Let him win your game. Not run the football 8 out of your last 9 times. I understand 2 of those are sacks, so they go down as runs, but they were technically supposed to be pass attempts. And again, you're a smart enough audience to get that. I think there's a fine line between it. And again, by tomorrow, this conversation's over because it's all Cleveland. There's a little bit of a blame game going on here, I think with the fans. I do. I don't think that's a problem within the building. Peterson's a smart guy. He doesn't do that and come out and say that you got to coach better unless he knows what that reaction is going to be like. I don't know Ryan Nielsen. I think he's a tough enough guy, especially mentally. That won't bother him at all. I'm sure Ryan Nielsen would look at Doug Peterson and look at any one of you Jaguar fans and say, you know what, you're right. We do need to coach better. But I find it very interesting how that has come out since this loss. Agree or disagree, you can always voice your opinion. The best way to do it is on our text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. When we come back, let's get after that immediately. All right, opening comments tonight and every night, brought to you by Shmunez Vision. I hate when I hear that people are being taken advantage of financially by cataract surgery. Okay? If you are experiencing problems with your eyes, first off, you need to get them checked. Shmunez Vision. If you are worried that it could be a cataract deal, hey, you may need surgery. You may not. Again, Shmunez Vision. There's something within the world, though, of eye care where they have somehow produced a surgery counselor. And what that means is when you get your eyes checked, yeah, you're going to need surgery. We want you to go talk to a surgery counselor. You know who doesn't have a surgery counselor? Shmunez Vision. You know why? They talk to you. Don't you want the doctor performing your eye surgery to talk to you? I had eye surgery 8.5 years ago. Dr. Neil Shmunez provided it. Dr. Catherine Shmunez there as well. Just look at it that way. If you have to go under and you need this type of care, Shmunez Vision, they'll sit with you, answer every single question that you have. It's just a small part of what they do, and it's why they're so good. Located out at the beach. The great folks at Shmunez Vision. Check them out online as well. Go to Instagram, get all the testimonials at Shmunez Vision. All right, I am fired up tonight. We've got a ton to do over the next couple of hours. When we come back, We'll talk with J.J. LaSelva. When we come back, we have more on the Jaguars' loss, but I'm telling you, they're going to turn this thing around in 5 days. Cleveland wants no part of Duval on Sunday. It's great to have you with us. We call this Into the Night.
He is our quarterback savant, and he'll take you inside his mind.
So you can learn more about the science of quarterbacking.
Denny Thompson is the quarterback whisperer. Friday mornings on The Drill. Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety. There is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
Bueller Air & Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a dust bunny breeder from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Steve Johnson. Welcome to the show, Steve.
It's great to be here, Alex.
Yeah, you don't have to answer in the form of a question, Steve.
What is this game show?
See, that's another question.
Are you going to ask me about air conditioners?
Yeah, okay. How about we just send the Bueller guys over and you can annoy them with all your questions? Johnny?
That's right, Steve. Bueller Air & Plumbing can answer all your air conditioning questions, repair options, replacement models, and how to make your AC last longer while saving electricity, making sure you are cool.
Where is the parking lot?
You're killing me, Steve. Stay cooler with Bueller. Visit BuellerAir.com.
Hi, everybody. Mike Dempsey here. Look, most goals we set for ourselves have a pretty clear course. I want a trip to Las Vegas. So you read a couple of reviews, talk to a few friends, save up some money, and you book it. Maybe a couple of choices along the way, but overall, it's a clear course to reach your goal. Now, if your goal is to lose 40 or 50 pounds, where's the clear path? You read reviews, talk with a few friends, and try something out. When it doesn't work, you're disappointed. Look, we've all been there, and it stinks. Know what I say? Stop trying to do what I did and start doing. Reach your goal with Awaken 180. It's a clear course to success without the disappointment. No guesswork, no trial and error, and no medication side effects. I'm proof. I dropped 26 pounds my first go at it, and it was simple. A word never associated with weight loss, except when referring to Awaken 180. Choose the simple, clear course to success with the solution for weight loss. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Injured in an accident? Have mounting medical bills? Can't work? Don't worry. Zach's got your back. I'm Zach Von Rowan of Von Rowan Law. I will fight for the compensation that you deserve. Set up your free consultation at zachsgotyourback.com.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Every weekend is a Stone Cold Sports Weekend. Hey, Dan Hicken here. Watch for the Weekend with Dan on YouTube and Facebook, and I'll help you put together your sports weekend. Weekend with Dan brought to you by Stone Core. We do the outdoors better.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
Universal Roof and Contracting has been protecting Florida homes from the elements for over 30 years. Call Universal Roof and Contracting today for a free roof inspection and get 15% off your roof repair or replacement. Plus, flexible financing options and payments as low as $115 a month. This offer expires September 30th. Call 855-ROOF-HELP.
License number CCC 1330747, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Guys, feeling deflated in the bedroom? ED, low T, no energy? If your stuff is broken, call 904-STROKEN or 904stroken.com. No shots in the first treatment, now free. Fix your ED at 904stroken.com.
Ballou here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Julington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World,
simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
You know, JJ, I don't drink during Jaguar games. Obviously, I cover them. Looking forward to heading out to Buffalo next week. Be here for the home opener against Cleveland. But I read this where it said from the 1077, Miami didn't score it after the Travis Etienne fumble. And I was like, you're trying to tell me you're stone sober and you can't remember a ball game that happened less than 48 hours ago?
I don't know if he's being sarcastic. Maybe being like, because you were saying the defense isn't the reason why they lost. And maybe he's trying to be like, didn't they score right after? But I don't know.
Maybe he was drunk.
No context with texts.
Maybe he was drunk. We love our texters.
Absolutely. And I would say if I was not working the Jags game, I would probably be drunk as well.
Hey,
I have no issue with that.
No one corrects us or myself more than the text line. Okay? And it happens all the time. But I'm sitting here, as we went to that break, I'm like, did you just make a big deal about how it was the very next play? And this was a 14-point swing that legitimately happened, with 2 plays, and you got it wrong? So I had to go back and actually look at the release. And, you're telling me, it happened. I'm like, I thought it happened. I just watched it. It's not like we're talking about, the 62-7 game back here, which ended up being the final game ever for Dan Marino and Jimmy Johnson. Just a sensational game that day for Fred Taylor, among others. I don't know. We'll see if he responds a little bit later on in the program. But for a second, I can't remember the last time I was actually scared about something. I was like, man, did I?
That's a huge screw up. Well, I would be worried about your ability to remember simple things.
It's like we all make mistakes, but I'm like, man, goodness, man, did you just make that mistake on the 2 biggest plays? To me, those are the 2 biggest plays of the game, along with the beginning of the fourth quarter, where 4th and 1 from your own 32, going for it and not getting it done, which, again, is very interesting, going back to Doug Peterson and those comments about how you got to coach better defensively. You allow those 2 big-time posts on opposite sides of the field. Well, your offense fell apart in the second half, and it certainly was aided by your coaches. Going forward on 4th down, that is an issue. I don't think there's any question about it. All right, another issue is Tyson Campbell. He is out. How long? Don't know. Hamstrings are tricky, and that is always a big-time problem because it could linger. I mean, you could be back in 2 weeks, man. This thing could carry on for quite some time, and I think always the biggest problem when it comes to a soft cell injury is the player is going to want to return. But if you're not ready, if the body can't handle it and you force yourself to come back a little bit too soon, then, man, you could really create some significant difference, and who knows how long you're going to be out. So that's going to be really interesting beginning tomorrow to see how things go. Jerrion Jones had, 17 snaps? You had Buster Brown, who was in there for 19. They immediately went after Buster Brown early on. And Christian Braswell, who was the biggest surprise, who didn't make the original 53, still on your practice squad. I thought that maybe he would get called up. The Jaguars did make a transaction today. They actually lost Terrell Edmunds. He was moved to Pittsburgh, and they went out and got a McFadden. I'll dig his name up here. Let me see that release from the Jaguars. I believe it is Zachariah McPherson, signed by the Jaguars today to the practice squad. Came over to the Philadelphia Eagles in the 4th round of the 2021 draft. He was the 123rd player selected overall. In 22, he played in 17 games. He's kind of been, he's been nicked. He spent the 2023 season on the IR. So there you go, the very latest there. All right, much more to do. We roll through this Tuesday night. I do want to tell you that tonight's program is brought to you by Thermal Engineers. And they've been a staple in Jacksonville now for more than 20 years, all throughout North Florida. But listen to this. If you have a commercial HVAC contractor background, all right, if you are a qualified technician and installer, top pay, 401k, full benefits, and a signing bonus. Let me repeat that. Top pay, 401k, full benefits, and a signing bonus. A real good buddy of mine, Eric Neal. He's a golfing buddy. He's actually on the shelf right now because of a torn up knee. I'm on the shelf right now because it's football season. But he's been with the same company or was for more than 20 years. And he got up and he left. He went to Thermal Engineers. Why? It was too good of an offer to pass up. Go to Thermal Engineers, Inc. That's Thermal Engineers, Inc. Or call them at 230-1172. They're an equal opportunity employer. That is Thermal Engineers, Inc. 17 snaps for Tank Bigsby, 12 carries. Travis Etienne, who I think has entered, as you pointed out, JJ, he's entered this week's naughty list. This is...
Especially after Tank had a great performance.
Yes, but God, it's so incredible because I know you can... Well, if this didn't happen and that didn't happen, well, it did happen. But Tank takes that in. Excuse me, if Travis takes that in, he has 2 rushing touchdowns. And just imagine what the focus would have been like this week. And that's what's disappointing to me because I've been hollering about it all summer. An offensive line and legitimate rushing attack. Just think about how you would have felt if he hit pay dirt. You would have thought, you got 2 backs you can lean on now. And those statistics, again, would have grown throughout that 4th quarter. Instead, you fumble it. You rear your ugly head. You had 30 turnovers a year ago. You had 16 fumbles a year ago. Parker Washington fell on his own. And, I've heard a lot of, here we go again. Here we go again. Bottom line, 37-17. Those are the snaps. I think if I asked that question 5 days ago, you would have said, I love it. Maybe not enough for Tank Bigsby. Today, I'd like to know how much that has changed. We live with, what have you done for me lately? We live with, what is the last thing that you saw? What is the last thing that you remember? There's nothing I dislike more about members of the media, especially talk show hosts, when they give you the, I told you so. I told you so. Damn it, I told you so about Tank Bigsby, okay? I've been ringing his bell all off season. The man is focused. The man is going to have a big season. It doesn't mean nothing to Travis Etienne as far as don't give him the same amount of bats, sit him down. All along, they talked about lowering his touches. He was nicked last year. We honestly don't really know what went on with his ribs last season. I know there's an injury report for gambling reasons. I know it comes out and it'll be there tomorrow on a Wednesday. And we live for it. And, it's such a big factor for everything that is involved with NFL gambling and what have you. But don't bury Travis Etienne. Okay? I looked it up earlier today. Last year, man, he had 267 carries. He had 58 reception. Let's see, 8 and 7, 15. But that's 325. That's 325 touches last year. No fumbles. He had a fumbling problem as a rookie, which was technically his sophomore year, and you know that. I think he had 5 fumbles. I think he lost 3 of them. Remember that in 2022? Okay. He worked at it. He got better. He did not fumble the football. You know what it was? It was a great play by Holland. He punched that ball out. And I know as a back, it can't happen. It did happen. But don't take that with you to the point where you feel now Travis Etienne's going to put the ball on the carpet each and every Sunday. He's not. Again, 325 touches 1 year ago and no fumbles. What I'd really like to do here is make a big point out of the fact that Jacksonville really could end up having a great backfield. Now, that begins with that offensive line, which did the job in the first half. Now, Pro Football Focus didn't do them any favors. I'm going to get into that on the other side of this break. I was actually surprised by some of the Pro Football Focus numbers. To me, it's not even close. The offensive line went into the year far and away their biggest question, and still is their biggest question. But I thought they played better than expected in the first half. Things went sideways in the second half. So let's come back, dive into that a little bit. Tons going on, getting an awful lot from you on our text line. Again, the best way for you to join us there is 641-1010. That's the only way you can join us, and it's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can also get me on Twitter. That is Ballou, Ballou 1010XL.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle. If you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle with lifetime warranty, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Best price, best payment, best trade-in value, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. With a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there is always a little room for wiggle. Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank N.A. member FDIC.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
There's certain places you know if you go in, they got what you're looking for, like Gate Convenience Stores and Cold Modelo's. That's the ticket. Or get on the craft side of things with something from Bold City or Sweetwater. Hit the cooler at Gate, full of choices and all of them good.
Right now, they're on their way to ruin your day. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. And if you're not prepared, you will suffer. Yes, it's that time of the year. Heat and humidity are attacking North Florida. But help is at hand. Call Mike Merritt's Heating and Air Conditioning. Mike Merritt has a license to chill and lets you maintain your comfort zone at a bargain price. How? Mike Merritt stands ready to help, routine or emergencies. And Mike Merritt knows emergencies can happen at any time. So with Mike, there's never any overtime charges. And Mike's team works without commissions. Merritt will never try to sell you parts you don't need. You can't trust just anyone with a truck. Call Mike Merritt, the company North Florida has trusted for 35 years. Call today. License number CAC 050384.
This right here is as good as it gets. This is life getting lived without obligations or complications. This is filling your cup and savoring the moment. This is the gift of presence, served to you in a place where there's room for everyone and enough to go around. And the best part, it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Welcome to ABS, Advanced Business Solutions, your local print management partner and home to Xerox copiers. From IT management to VoIP phone systems, Advanced Business Solutions is the right name to know.
Hey, Hicken here. I want to talk skin along with my friends at Beach's Dermatology, reminding you to wear your sunscreen. Football season is back, baby. And with that, days under that bright sun. So when you load up that truck for the game day tailgate, or the chairs for your kids' flag games, or even the boat heading downtown to watch our Jags, make sure you bring the screen. Sunscreen, that is. It's a must here in Duval. But if you have any concerns right now, give Beach's Dermatology a call online at beachesdermatology.com.
I'm Jeff Middlecoff with Trustline Mortgage. My business partners, Alan Tyre, Bill Pappas, and Ken Rimley, have been helping first-time home buyers with their mortgage financing all over Florida for 34 years. First-time home buyers can get no or low down payments, anywhere from 0 to 3.5% down. As a first-time home buyer with Trustline Mortgage, you get added benefits for doing your loan with us, like lower rates on your mortgage insurance and lower closing costs. Oh, and did I forget to mention that Trustline gives first-time home buyers better mortgage interest rates? Here's the bottom line. Trustline Mortgage wants to help first-time home buyers accomplish your goal of home ownership. That's why Trustline Mortgage is offering the best first-time home buyer benefits around, period. Trustline Mortgage delivers with no and low down payments, lower closing costs, and better interest rates. Call Trustline Mortgage today at 381-LOAN. Yes, 381-LOAN to find out how we can help you buy your dream home. Or visit our website at trustlinemortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trustline Mortgage.
Certain restrictions apply. See office for details. Trustline is an equal housing opportunity. MLS number 331480.
If you're about to order a floral arrangement for someone you love, then take it from me, 1010XL's JJ LaSalva. Use Kuhn Flowers. That's right, Kuhn Flowers. For over 75 years, Kuhn Flowers gets it done right.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
In 1991, the late great James Earl Jones was the voice behind the pitch for Jacksonville to become an NFL city.
Jacksonville shines from a number of angles, like a jewel being turned in your hand.
His unmistakable voice narrated a promotional video that was sent to NFL owners and executives to show Jacksonville's readiness for an NFL franchise.
Jacksonville, a community determined to win an NFL franchise. A special addition to the National Football League. Jacksonville, a city of dreams.
I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
James Earl Jones did pass yesterday, that iconic video, or a voiceover, going back 30-plus years ago. This is year 30 of the franchise. Of course, the franchise was announced a few years prior to that, but he did pass yesterday. I mean, if you... Where would you put him when you look at some of the most authoritative voices all time? Who's the guy now that I can't even think of
Does
it.
Hard Knocks and everything?
Yeah, it's the guy who played Ray Donovan.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the guy that was in Gone Baby Gone, when he plays a former police chief and he steals the prison break movie. I can't think of
Jake Doyle?
No.
Oh, Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. That's the one right now that is far and away, number one.
Yeah, like when you hear him on commercials and everything, he's got that great
he just
voice.
sets the scene. And I know we're talking about someone who just passed, but I'm saying if you could pick a guy to do your obituary.
Yeah, exactly.
Morgan Freeman's the guy you got to
have some freaking loot. Oh, I'd have you, of course.
Right.
But after you.
Morgan Freeman could make Charles Manson sound warm and loving. You know what I mean? Well, he was born from a prostitute. And, I mean, it's just amazing what he is able to do. But Morgan Freeman, man, and there's so many things that he did that stand out. But his role in Field of Dreams, to me, is the best.
Yeah, I guess I would say Vader, but he wasn't like acting, it was literally just his voice. And as a matter of fact, when they took the mask off in Return of the Jedi, it wasn't even him. Like, for obvious reasons, you couldn't have a black dude being like, hey, you're supposed to be Luke's dad.
Yeah. I mean, Darth Vader's pretty hard to top.
That's the one for me.
Yeah, and I'm sure that if you were, and I'm sure there are surveys that are out there. I mean, Darth. The Star Wars thing for me never clicked that it would the way that it did for millions and millions and millions. I'm not saying I disliked it. I saw Star Wars and I saw The Empire Strikes Back, and then whatever they did after that, I have no clue. But my younger brother had every Star Wars doll or whatever it was, those action figures, and
that was the true genius of George Lucas.
Yeah.
Is that he was like, hey, I'm going to get 100% of everything from these toys and like anything Star Wars related. And he ended up becoming like, one of the richest men in the world because of that. Just because of something on the contract like in the 70s that nobody thought was a big deal at all. And he got like all the royalties for those toys.
I tell you, a very underrated role for James Earl Jones when he played a villain again. That was in Conan the Barbarian.
Oh my God!
When he pulls out
I forgot about.
He pulls out a venomous snake. Okay, he pulls the damn thing out of his pocket, and he puts it into the bow and makes it the arrow. And he drills it into some guy's neck from like 500 yards away.
And he has the absolute worst hair possible in that movie.
I remember like
he looks like Caitlin Clark.
I mean, that came out in like the early 80s. That was like an 81, 82, 83 movie. But I remember that came out, man. I was living in Boston where there's no such thing as venomous snake. Notice I say venomous now and not poisonous because of our texters who said, hey, Ballou, you idiot. There's no such thing as a poisonous snake. They're venomous snakes. And I just got done reading, was it a James Patterson book? Or no, it was actually Stephen Fry. It was a Stephen Fry book who's a brilliant manager of money. And most of his books are written about that. He kept saying in the book, poisonous. And I'm like, no, you got it wrong, man. Our listeners have set me straight. It's venomous.
Venomous has to be through a bite. Or a sting.
Bro, that's great
Poisonous
filmmaking.
Could be, through the skin, inhaled, swallowed. Whatever.
Who thought of going to your pocket for a venomous snake, putting it in a bow, and then killing someone, again, from across town?
There's like 10 lines in that movie. Does Arnold even have any speaking scenes? I'm not even sure. but it was like my dad's favorite, and it would. I feel like it would come on TNT like every single weekend, and he would sit down and watch it and fall asleep. Great movie.
Rest in peace, James Earl Jones. Wow, 93 years of life. That is a spectacular one. Pro Football Focus. Let me end this by giving you some encouraging news. Okay. Pro Football Focus, here are their 5 worst offensive grades. Anton Harrison, a 33.3. Absolutely, totally awful. He's going to fix that. He's not going to allow 4 pressures and a sack against the Cleveland Browns. And if you watched the Cleveland Browns last week against the Dallas Cowboys, I mean, to see Myles Garrett on one side and to see Micah Parsons on the other is, I don't want to say that it was Lawrence Taylor and Reggie White, but man, it felt kind of close, at least for one Sunday. Obviously, Lawrence Taylor on the Michael Parsons side of things and Reggie White with Myles Garrett. They were here a few years ago. It was a preseason game. I was still the sideline reporter. It was Urban's year. And Malik Jackson, who I am a big fan of, and when I was working days, I did when it was midday chalk, we were doing the Jackson show, okay, every single week. And he ran over, and we just started talking, and Myles Garrett was with him, and Myles Garrett was not going to play in the game. Neither was Jackson. And I remember looking at Myles Garrett. I said, my God, that might be the biggest guy that I have seen in quite some time. Just a massive human being. But when I went back to Jackson, I said, you guys out? And he looked at me and he started laughing. He goes, man, we ain't playing in this game. We don't have no college coach. I thought it was hilarious. All of a sudden I look over, there's Urban Meyer. He's playing all his guys in the preseason. But anyway, Harrison, 33.3. He's going to get better. Christian Kirk, 50.8. Christian Kirk had 2 drops. Okay? Christian Kirk was targeted 4 times. He had 1 reception. He's going to play better this week. So your right tackle is going to be better. Your slot wide receiver is going to be better. I'm actually surprised by this. Brandon Sheriff had the 3rd worst offensive grade according to Pro Football Focus, 52.9. I thought he blocked well. Again, Pro Football Focus sees things that I don't. Number 4, Ingram, 53.8. 1 drop, 1 reception. The guy caught 114 balls last week. I bet tomorrow when they get out in the practice field, the emphasis of getting the ball to Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram is going to grow rapidly. And then Travis Etienne, a 54.7. I mean, those 5 guys, the 5 worst offensive grades, all 5 of them, you can make the case, are not only going to be better this week, but I would say significantly better this week. All right, you want to add an opinion to that? Absolutely. Best way to do it is on our text line, which is 641-1010. All right, we got much more to do. Take you up until 8 o'clock. We got another hour. We're going to mix in some college football in our second hour, and as well, absolutely stay with your Jaguars.
Get inside the mind of Jags coach Doug Peterson.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't have butterflies.
Coach Speaks. Fridays at 4:05 on The Franchi Show.
And that's why I'm excited.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Custom windows and doors on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey everyone, it's football season and we wanted to go to the drawing board to make this year's predictions. Let's compare our 2 blonde all-stars. Most touchdowns, best pricing in the market. Most passing yards, gives the most for your trade. Most receptions, free oil changes with every purchase. Super Bowl champion, wow customer service. This looks like a winning season for everyone. Come see Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, where you can score big all season long.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
Firefighters, paramedics, police officers, they take care of us, and at AMCO, we're proud to take care of them. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. As an essential business, we work on every kind of car repair with flexible financing and extra safety precautions. Essential, reliable, trusted. That's the men and women who are there for us, and it's our honor to be there for them. AA MCO.
Family owned and operated in Jacksonville, Orange Park, St. Augustine, and St. Mary's, Georgia. AMCO Transmissions and Total Car Care.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods, and I'm proud to say that Underwoods is the longest-standing member of the American Gym Society in the state of Florida. That's important because the American Gym Society promotes professionalism inside the business, and most important because of how it protects the customer. Gemstones are like most things, and you have to have the knowledge about them before you can tell the truth about them. That's where the American Gym Society fits in. They're the organization that certifies gemologists and registered jewelers and certifies sales associates with professional titles. Then to ensure that we stay up to date with these gemological advances, we re-win our titles by passing a written test every year. And now I'm proud to say Underwoods has the largest credentialed American Gem Society staff east of the Mississippi River. So if you're interested in diamonds and jewelry and want real professional help, stop by Underwoods.
Underwood Jewelers in San Marco, in Avondale, and at the shops of Ponte Vedra.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Prosser here, and if you are one of the ones that looks at your backyard area living space and thinks, wow, it needs an upgrade, Lifetime Enclosures is having a huge open house sale this Saturday, and boy, can I tell you, they do an awesome job. Anything from glass or screen enclosures to full-on lanais and flooring, all in one place. The place you want to watch sports, enjoy your backyard, and just hang out could be so much better with Lifetime Enclosures. Come on out to Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring this Saturday, all day. You won't regret it.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 5-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now graduate making over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or no student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost are the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by November 7th.
Are you tired of living with constant pain from torn ligaments or nagging tendinitis and bothersome joint pain? Say goodbye to endless medications and invasive surgeries. Go BioTarget Regenerative Treatment is available only at injury care centers. Their innovative approach helps you recover faster and get back to doing what you love without drugs or surgery. Don't just treat the symptoms, target the root cause with BioTarget. Visit GoBioTarget.com to learn more and schedule your appointment today.
Okay, listen up, team. They're out to test our reputation as the best plumber in Jacks, so we gotta play like the experts we are. When customers call with leaky faucets, broken water heaters, toilet repairs, broken pipes, or any other challenge, we'll give them the solution fast. Now, who are we?
Roland Reese Plumbing!
I can't hear you.
Roland Reese Plumbing!
Now that's what a winner sounds like.
Customers always win with Roland Reach Plumbing at plumberinjacks.com.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Jags fans, our holiday pack is back with a special edition.
Trevor Lawrence, touchdown!
For the first time, get a limited edition Trevor Lawrence bobblehead plus a ticket to one of our December home games starting at $78. Wow! Whether you're looking for the perfect Christmas gift or want the one-of-a-kind bobblehead for yourself, grab a holiday pack today by going to Jaguars.com/bobblehead or call 904-633-2000 now.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
7 o'clock in Duval. Rick Ballou, JJ LaSelva. Let's bring in our good buddy, NLS, Lawrence Stample. How are you, big guy?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing, Rick?
Good. Has there been enough rain on your lawn?
There's been enough rain. We're about ready for the rain to go in.
Yeah.
So it's been a ton.
We'll talk to your business here in a minute, but how does that affect things as far as power washing and all that with nonstop rain?
It gets a little bit hairy in terms of scheduling, but we communicate really well with our customers just to make sure that we're staying on top of it, just in case we need to reschedule or move things around. But we're flexible.
We got a ton of gamblers who listen to this program.
Yeah,
is Florida State going to win this weekend?
We better win this weekend. That's going to be the better answer. We better win this weekend.
Yeah,
it's going to be very important.
Now, Lawrence Stample, of course, played defensive line for the Florida State Seminoles and was part of that national championship team in 2013. Also played against the Cleveland Browns, or played for the Cleveland Browns, who are coming into town here to play the Jaguars on Sunday. All right, let's start with the bad and get to the good. You and I have had several conversations this year about Jalen Lucas, a guy that we thought that they were going to try to find a way to get him the ball any way possible, also a punt and kick returner. It was announced yesterday he's gone for the year.
Yeah, that was a big blow for the Seminole Nation, and it sucked. It was a kind of deflating feeling just because obviously the season hasn't been going all that great as it is, and being able to utilize him was going to be something that we were hoping that was going to spark. But I think the plus to that is that we hopefully may find somebody else to be able to kind of run those jet sweeps and some of those punt returns that may be more explosive, or at least something that can maybe even give a leader a little bit more of an edge to help kind of build this team up.
Is it too early to find out who can do it, who can't do it, who's giving you 100%, who's not giving you 100%, with the understanding the way that coaching has changed? I mean, it feels like back in your day, Jimbo would say, you're not doing it, get the heck out of there. Again, we talk about how today's athletes are treated differently than back when you played. What's your understanding with that coming up this weekend?
Yeah, this weekend, I've been saying this for a while. I think Memphis is going to be our best opportunity in order to do that. So you have on one side, you have these leaders that are in there. Well, hopefully leaders. You have our starters that are in there, and we're not seeing a ton of production. So I think this week going against Memphis, being a great team, being a very stout team, I think it will be a great opportunity to be able to get some young guys in there, to be able to mix things up, be aggressive when it comes to swapping our guys out, even no matter what the play, no matter what time it is, being able to rotate a few guys in there to see if they're really ready to step up for the opportunity, and see if we can get a spark somewhere. But I think Memphis, being a smaller division but a very good team, will be an awesome opportunity to do that.
When you lose, coaches and fans think differently. Right now, the fans are saying, put in Brock Glenn. I happen to think that Luke Kromenhoek, I remember when we watched him practice for 2 days, most of your focus was on the defense. I thought Kromenhoek threw the ball better than the other two Florida State quarterbacks and is eventually going to be the guy. Right now, Florida State fans are saying, play Brock Glenn. Mike Norvell's got to be saying, Niall, our best chance to win in 4 days is with DJ Uiagalelei.
Yeah, DJ. And so he's gonna. I have no clue who he's gonna start this game with, and that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited to see what Norvell is going to cook up in order to figure out who is going to help us continue out this season. And that's what we're going to see during this Memphis game. And that's what I'm hoping to see during this Memphis game. But if we're able to be aggressive, we can get all three of our quarterbacks in there in order to see who is going to step up, who can potentially earn more reps, and who can be a spark for the rest of our offense, and who's going to give the energy that we need. Because realistically, you don't need someone that's going to throw it, sling it 60, 70, 80 yards. You need someone that can manage a game, someone that can help bring the energy, someone who can really manage the throws and make the right decisions during that opportunity that they have.
Now, Lawrence Stample, our guest, talking Florida State football. Niall, of course, played his ball at Florida State. The Noles did receive some good news this week. Finally, the return of Hakeem Williams, arguably the most decorated member of the Florida State wide receiving corps. He struggled to stay on the field as a freshman. He's missed the first 2 games this year with an injury as well.
Yeah, and it's a great opportunity for him to come in. I really don't want to see him play too much. Hopefully they can get him on certain plays. I think it would be great, especially to be able to pair him with another quarterback, one of our backup options as well as with DJ. But let's kind of work him in so that way he's not getting too overworked and being able to work himself in and be able to execute when it comes to the actual live play. He hasn't been able to play. I don't want to do too much too early with him.
I've asked guys who have played this game forever. I think the biggest difference, in my opinion, between college football and pro football is in the NFL, you're ready for your opponent every week. And case in point, for the most part, the point spread is around 3 points or less. In the NFL, even though these guys get up early, in college football, even though they get up early and work out 350 some odd days a year, there are opponents that they don't get up for. Look at Northern Alabama last year, man. I mean, they're down, 10-0, 13-0. Jordan Travis ends up getting hurt. When you look at this schedule, Memphis didn't stick out. This would set up as one of those games. All right, maybe they show up and they're struggling in the first quarter. That can't happen coming up on Saturday. I mean, how much do you believe that their mindset will change in this game because they haven't won yet?
I think, 1, we haven't won yet, so that's going to be a huge motivating factor. But 2, regardless of the leadership or regardless of what's going on the field, a lot of these players, a majority of these players really buy in and really love Norvell. With them knowing that and knowing that Norvell, this is the last school that Norvell was at, and he cannot have his old team come in and beat us, I think that is going to be a chip on their shoulder. They're going to want to play hard for Norvell, and I think that's another opportunity for us to see that this game should not be overlooked by our team.
Jeremy Pruitt was an Alabama defensive backs coach, came over and worked with you guys for the 1 year that you won the national championship, then went to Georgia. And what I was told with those 2 years is there were different types of players, different talent at Georgia compared to what he had with you and others at Florida State. What was great about Jeremy Pruitt was in-game adjustments. Adam Fuller, BC ran the ball 50 some odd times, and for the most part, Florida State stayed with the 4-2-5. Is it crazy to think that you run a good enough system that you can't make changes? And if so, what are your thoughts on that? Because why not put an extra defensive lineman in or an extra linebacker in against a team that's going to run the football right down your throat?
Yeah, it's something that's really, really hard to watch and hard to understand that we're not going to make an adjustment so that way we're not getting killed on both sides because they were able to throw the ball as well. So it's like if we can't at least stop the run, if we can't stop the pass, let's at least stop the run. Let's get an extra guy on the line. Let's be able to fill and clog up every single gap possible. And we just didn't see that adjustment. So I think going forward, that's something that is going to be really crucial for us to see. And if that's not shown here very soon, it's really not going to be up for discussion. It's going to be an issue that's going to go forward, and it's going to have to be addressed one way or another.
What are they dealing with right now? You didn't deal with a lot of losing streaks when you were a member of the Florida State Seminoles. They were highly touted, and they got a bye here after losing 2 straight games. What are they dealing with right now?
They're dealing with a lot of real, just questionable situations when it comes to job security, when it comes to who is going to start this game, who is really being productive. And unfortunately, a few guys are going to get singled out because some players are playing well. Some players are doing their job, and it's showing on film that they're doing their job. And those players are having to kind of make up for other players' situations as well. So you're dealing with a little bit of bickering. You're dealing with a little bit of questionable things, but it seems like they're trying to hone it in. You've seen a few guys talk on social media that really it's all they need is them, and they have their room. So I hope that is a consensus with all the guys, but at the end of the day, it is a very, very questionable situation for their integrity.
In 1989, I know you don't remember this. When were you born, by the way? 1989.
I was number 92.
Okay, I mean, I was here as a junior, and it was one of the hottest days ever in this city. Brett Favre beat Florida State on opening day right here in Jacksonville, southern Mississippi. And a week later, Terry Allen went into Tallahassee with Clemson and ran for like 160 yards. Back in those days, the only team that won at Florida State was Miami. No one else did. Florida State was 0-2. They flipped the switch, man. They beat LSU. They beat Reggie Slack in Auburn. They beat Miami. They beat Florida. If there was a playoff then, Florida State would have been the national champion in 1989. What can a win do Saturday? Is it crazy for me to say that they can flip a switch? The week after, it's been announced today, it's California at Florida State beginning at 7 o'clock a week from Saturday. I mean, Notre Dame just lost. Florida's got issues. Miami right now looks absolutely unbeatable. But my point is, can they get this thing rolling simply by just getting a win on Saturday?
Yeah, I wouldn't typically say so if it wasn't the type of team that we're playing. Obviously, we needed to have a smaller conference team to come in, just like we always do. But I think Memphis being Memphis is what the opportunity where the opportunity lies. If we can be the team that we can truly be and have some of these players show up, and we show up and show out when it comes on Saturday, I think that team being as good as it is can give our guys a confidence to be able to push over to the next team. Because if it wasn't, then it was, what does this really show? It would have been really a lose-lose situation. But with Memphis playing well, they're 2-0 right now, and they played really strong against Troy. I think that if we can pull it together, there is a small opportunity, but there's 1,000% opportunity there for our guys to really relish in that moment, and the country will relish in that moment if we can actually get this win and have a secured, solid win.
Yeah. Now Lawrence Stample, our guest, talking some college football. Let's get to the Gators for a moment. DJ Lagway, a record-setting performance in his first ever start last week for the Florida Gators. Graham Mertz's been out with the concussion. He's providing a spark, but I want to ask you, it's the same question about DJ Uiagalelei or Brock Glenn. There's no doubt in Gainesville right now and here in Jacksonville, the fans want the true freshman. They want DJ Lagway. Who gives Florida a better chance to win this game against Texas A&M?
Obviously, it's going to be DJ. So one thing you have to realize is that you're winning your locker room. So one thing that we don't see is the locker room. Where are our guys shifting? What are our guys talking about? What are the wide receiver room talking about? Who has the locker room? And if he can win over the locker room, then he'll have a much better chance of being successful when it comes to this upcoming game, because the guys are going to want. The guys have already bought in. So if you can get that, it is over and done with. But he shows the most promise. He looks fresh. He's new. He obviously has the height. He has the wherewithal. He looked really dialed in when it came to making some of those right decisions. Obviously, it wasn't a very good opponent, but at the same time, I think he showed all the attributes. And what everyone wants to see is change. Yeah. And that's what he is.
That's going to be at 3:30 coming up on Saturday down the road in Gainesville. Of course, we'll have that game for you here on both of our radio stations, Texas A&M. Always a gutty opponent, and we remember them losing on opening day to Notre Dame. All right, final thoughts. You and I have talked about this off the year before and whatever. I told you I went to school with Deion, and I'm always a huge Deion Sanders fan. In my opinion, outside of Bobby Bowden, no one built that franchise or helped out more than Deion. I can't think of a time, Niall, historically speaking, in sports where a coach has literally put a target right on his chest. I mean, it's not about going out and beating Colorado. It's about going out and beating Deion Sanders. What's your opinion as to what's happening right now in Boulder?
They wanna shut Deion Sanders up. They really want to shut up they want to shut down the energy, the clout, the whole situation that they have going on there, because it's nothing like anyone's ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
So they're really bringing a light to Colorado. And unfortunately, if you're not able to back it up, then the blood's in the water. Right, the blood's in the water. Everyone wants to come there and shut you down just because of the amount of clout that you've been able to build here, and it's on a very cocky sort of vibe as well. So everyone wants to come and shut you down, and then once you have blood in the water, that happens as well. But then you also have the issue of the portal, and you have the issue of guys. You have a lot of programs that unfortunately have bad stigma because their guys left, and it was this huge race to grab everyone that he could from all these different programs. So unfortunately, you've left some bad relationships, some bad blood. So I love Deion, and it's a tough watch. I'm gonna be honest, it's a tough watch.
It's a brutal watch, and I hate it for him because he, instead of pulling back a little bit, he just keeps going to the well, and he keeps stirring this pot. I mean, it's one thing if you're Vince Dooley. It's one thing if you're Joe Paterno or Bobby Bowden or maybe Steve Spurrier, where you've been around for a long time, and there are fans that just simply want to beat you. Deion's been there for 1 year and 2 games. I mean, he's taught what? He's coached at 14 career games. And you may have a top 5 quarterback pick, and that's subject to debate. The Quinn Ewers guy looks really good. Carson Beck looks really good. Well, we'll see. But I just can't ever, in any sport, think of how an entire fan base and an entire team, they don't want to beat the team they're playing. They want to beat the coach. To me, it's crazy.
It's insane. It's insane. And it's crazy because there'll be only one coach or one player that you would ever think of. And that's really a Deion Sanders.
Oh, yeah.
It's like he's really fitting his mark and what people would expect. I just wish that they were fitting on the field too.
All right. Give us the very latest. What's going on with Lawrence Stample cleaning?
We are continuing to just grow within Jags, and like I said, the response has been phenomenal. Being able to work with small businesses, large businesses here in Jags, being able to become a JSEB certified company, so we can work with large companies here in Jags. It's been an awesome opportunity for us to be here, and I'm loving every moment of it because it's been so receptive. But if you guys need anything, your house washed, windows cleaned, roof washing, we do a phenomenal job. 5-star review. Take a look at our reviews online. You can get us at nlscleaning.net or give us a call at 904-708-8802.
Local company right here in Duval. Lawrence Stample played for the Florida State Seminoles. Play for the Cleveland Browns. You don't stay up with Cleveland all that much.
Yeah, dude. My boys love Cleveland.
Do they really?
Man. They love Cleveland. Yeah. It sucks. Their favorite was Nick Chubb. Obviously, he had that injury. Yeah. But they love Cleveland. It sucked because obviously Jameis was there, and it's just Jameis. Oh man, he's there. So that's been an awesome opportunity too. So
give us a couple of seconds on Myles Garrett.
Oh my gosh, yeah, man.
Because that's who's coming up this Sunday.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, his production has been great, right? His production has been great. It could be better. But I think one thing that he does well is he's very disruptive. He may the last season he wasn't as high when it came to the sack count, but he is very, very disruptive. When it comes to the run, he's phenomenal in the run game. So I think having him on the roster is a phenomenal opportunity for. Be a distraction. At the bare minimum, be a distraction and say, okay, how do we game plan for Garrett so you don't have to worry about anything else? So I think that's awesome. But we love Myles Garrett.
That would have been a fun defensive line with Miles and Nile.
Yeah, right.
Or Nile and Miles.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
He's awesome.
Always good to see you.
Yeah, good seeing you too, Rick.
Lawrence Stample. He is with NLS Cleaning. All right, when we get back, let's get you involved with the program. 641-1010, that's the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also, you can get us on Twitter, Ballou1010XL, with you tonight till 8 o'clock.
English is their second language. Their native tongue is teal and black.
Let's go!
Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony bring you Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
10 to noon on 1010XL.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation. Light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
If you suffer from constant burning, tingling, or numbness in your hands or feet, it could be a serious condition called neuropathy. I'm Dr. Nathan Riddle, DC with Riddle Wellness in Ponte Vedra. Neuropathy is treatable, and we have seen great results by using state-of-the-art, non-invasive therapies to target damaged nerves, reduce symptoms, and improve nerve function. Call 904-395-5598 to schedule your free consultation today and learn how you can live pain-free. Call 904-395-5598.
Hey, Scarline here. If you're like me in the fall, you want to watch football, not clean. Enter Molly Maid, voted Bold City Best Cleaning Service 3 years in a row. Molly Maid is reliable, friendly, and thorough. Visit mollymaid.com.
Hello there. Brendan from Play It Again Sports here to congratulate all the parents for surviving another summer. The kiddos are back to school, and you know what that means? Sports are back. But don't fret. Play It Again Sports has the gear you need at prices worthy of excessive celebration. From sluggers and shooters to clappers and benders, Play It Again Sports can turn your kids into goats. Stop in today on Merrill Road near 295 or online at playitagainjacks.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. So another Mike, who lost 40 pounds with Awaken 180, was in the same position I was in. And you are most likely confused.
I spent so much money on personal trainers in the last 10 years. Didn't have a lot of discretionary income left. So I tried to listen to everybody else. What do you eat? You know, everyone said, eat healthy. Define eating healthy. Cut out sugar. Tell me what foods don't have sugar. So their process to me was an education. That was really the eye-opening thing to me is I had 10 choices of food in front of me every day. You know, when I was on the run in sales, I was making 8 bad choices. I wasn't eating the 2 good ones. And I loved the 2 good ones. I just didn't know they were good. So I made bad choices every single day. And the program, on Awaken 180, really changed my mind, opened my eyes up to, it was a true education on food, what to eat, what not to eat, and it's been fantastic.
Knowing what to eat and the ability to navigate nutritional labels, a proven, clear path for weight loss. Exactly what you will receive with Awaken 180. Leave confusion at the door and do what we did. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Good people drink good beer, and great people drink Mocama, a refined craft brewery out of Fernandina Beach, Florida. Mocama Beer Company brings sophisticated flagship beers, including Cosmico IPA and Dune Garden Lager, to the greater Jacksonville area. Whether you're hitting the water with friends or enjoying a backyard barbecue, Mocama has the perfect beer for your summer activities. Look for us wherever great beers are sold and find your Mocama.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Now, the Performance Painting High Performance Play of the Game. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
There's a duo in Jacksonville that's going to force opponents to get in asbestos suit because they're simply going to set the league on fire. In the second quarter, Trevor Lawrence would find Brian Thomas Jr. for a 14-yard touchdown. That would give the squad a 14-0 lead with 6:21 left in the half. The Thomas Jr. score is your Performance Painting Play of the Game.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting!
You know, car accidents are scary. That split second before impact when you try to drive your way out of it, but you just can't. And suddenly your life changes forever. Your long-term medical outlook doesn't resemble the healthy future you had just seconds earlier. You can't swerve to miss the pain either. If a car accident has left you hurt and afraid, call 396-5555 now. It's time to turn your fear into fight. Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
We're not going to find back-to-back Desert Moon tracks. The great Dennis DeYoung, formerly of Styx, and then JJ dropped about 20 minutes ago, Desert Moon by Great White.
I haven't heard any of his non-Rush stuff.
Who, Great White?
No. Dennis DeYoung.
Not Rush. He was with Styx.
Or Styx.
Yeah,
Excuse me, Styx.
I didn't do much, but when he came here, I interviewed him a couple. Were you with me when I interviewed him?
No.
I guess it has been a few years. Boy, they put on a great show. It was at the Florida Theater, and all his songs were Styx songs.
I was
he did a
about
couple of
to
individual
ask.
ones. But he played this. This was a hit in like the early 80s.
Yeah, 84.
The MTV generation. It was a great video. But I was like, Great White was part of, someone from Great White was part of Rush? It's a 3-man band. Like, where have you been, Ballou? But, there you have it.
Yeah, there's those artists when they're doing their own thing, some of them that just refuse to play any songs from their old band. Well, and that's the only reason anyone's actually there to see them.
Well, yeah. I mean, seeing Andy Summers. Oh my goodness, man!
That's who it was.
That was about a year or so ago, whatever, at the Ponte Vedra Concert Hall. I assumed he was just gonna line himself up with a bunch of musicians and play, find a guy to play the role of Sting and play nothing but the Police. No, it was really bizarre, and frankly, it was disappointing. I almost never talked negatively about live entertainment and concerts, but that was not the deal. So that was sad. All right, what's Florida going to do? Are they going to go with Lagway?
I cut up Billy's presser yesterday, and there was like 3 or 4 questions about it, and everyone was trying to get him to say who's going to be the starter. He didn't say either one. He basically said both are going to play. He wouldn't name a starter. I think that they're probably going to bring Lagway in, but I don't think he's going to start the game. So I think he'll maybe wait. But here's the deal. If they're going good, you're not going to bring him in at that point. So I'm assuming Florida's going to get off to a slow start with Graham Mertz, and then they're going to have to bring in Lagway. I'm picking the Gators to win this game. Call me insane, but after watching Texas A&M in that Week 1 matchup against Notre Dame, I was unimpressed. And then seeing Notre Dame's Week 2 game, I was really unimpressed. And I think if they play Lagway, they can win this game. Mertz, I don't know.
I asked a lot of people this question last week, and I asked it here on air, and when I joined Hacker, I asked him. When I joined Matt Hayes in his college football preview show, I asked him, and the answer was like, they just got to find a win a game. Last week's game against Samford was kind of eerie compared to like the feeling this week for Florida State against Memphis, even though Memphis is clearly a better opponent. Right. But I brought the whole Wally Pitt, Lou Gehrig situation up. What if Lagway plays so good that you can't go back to Graham Mertz? And he did. He was absolutely spectacular. But I think this is what you have to ask yourself, and this is what Gator fans are dealing with right now. DJ Lagway has the opportunity to do so many things, but he's young. He's going to make mistakes. Who gives you the better chance to win a game? And this is the most important part, in my opinion, JJ. If you start Lagway and you turn the ball over, the team's not moving the football, you're down, and you bring in Graham Mertz, it's kind of like, yeah. All right.
The fans aren't going to go crazy.
Right. Exact opposite. You start Mertz and you're managing a game. It's a one-possession game. Maybe you're stalling out a little bit offensively. All of a sudden, you send in DJ Lagway. Bro, you might get a timeout. You might have to call a timeout because the crowd is going to be so loud with Florida on offense, and he is going to provide such an emotional spark
for the players
in the swamp for the player. I mean, Lawrence Stample just made a great point about the players, and with DJ Uiagalelei, if it's not working, and the players are going to be able to rebel. I'll tell you right there at Florida, old school Gator fans will tell you this. The whole Terry Dean, Danny Warfel deal. Terry Dean, back in 93, 94. Terry Dean, I guess it was 94, was the starter, right? And you had the Jack Jackson side who wanted Terry Dean. Then you had Danny Warfel. And, of course, you had the Chris Dorings and the Rito Anthonys and them that thought that Warfel would end up being the better quarterback. And, of course, he was. But quarterback controversy, quarterback rotation typically divides a locker room. The only one I can think of that comes to mind that was maybe Noah Brindise and Doug Johnson, but that was an underachieving Florida team that, did beat Florida State to wrap up the year. But typically, if you have two quarterbacks, it's an unhappy football team.
Yeah, Alabama was a perfect example of that last year in the USF game. I brought it up last week when they didn't start Milroe, and the locker room knew that Milroe's our best chance to win. And so there was like almost a coup against Saban in that game, and they didn't try hard at all. Back to Lagway. I was at the game, the Miami game, and when he came in, dude, the stadium erupted.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought for a second, this Gator crowd, because at that point it was a half-filled stadium, and I was like, wow, the Gator fans that are left are just giving the team as they come back out on the field like a big ovation to be like, hey, we're still here. But no, it wasn't that at all. Lagway came in. And so I know it'll be the same if they do it on Saturday. Here's another point why you might want to start Mertz. It is an SEC opponent, so they're going to be a lot bigger, stronger, faster than what you saw last week. But we sort of know Graham Mertz, take out the Miami game, he doesn't really make too many mistakes. No. He's not going to throw, a 70-yard P-Rod like Lagway did last week down the sideline for a touchdown, but he's also not going to throw picks. So, the worst thing that could happen is you start this freshman, he gets flustered, starts throwing picks, fumbles, his first read's not there, he's trying to run, something bad happens. Like, at least with Mertz, you're going to get a lot more of a calmer guy in a huge game for the school. Also,
more of a controlled environment with Graham Mertz.
Exactly. And I heard, I don't know how true this is, but that Lagway is hurt. And that he is not 100%, and I don't know if it's a show, whatever it is, but I heard them talking about it on the Frangie show. And so, yeah, you got to be careful with that, too.
There's no doubt. Florida, 4-point favorite. They're a 4-point dog.
At home.
Against Texas A&M. What DJ Lagway is providing right now for Florida is hope. And that's huge. Okay? You know what I want to have happen? I want DJ Lagway to take over this team and be good enough to where this team's around 500 and Billy Napier doesn't get fired.
Amen. That's
honestly what I want. That is honestly, I don't want this thing going sideways.
Because 7 wins.
And all of a sudden, Lane Kiffin's on his way to Hogtown.
Exactly. 7 wins, I think, is probably enough for him to stick around.
I'm thinking, maybe 6. I don't know.
Yeah, bowl game.
We'll see. So Florida will have that game here for you. They're a 4-point dog against A&M.
Especially because, back to him being fired, if if you do get 6 or 7 wins out of him and you see that Lagway is the future, you also kind of don't want to risk getting rid of him knowing Lagway could bounce after that. You want to keep Lagway at all costs.
Some interesting non-conference games this week in the SEC. Tulane is always a gutty club. They go to Norman. All right, still struggling with the fact that Oklahoma is actually in the Southeastern Conference. That's at 3:30. BC 2-0. They go to Missouri. Okay, right now and I know our listeners are, but Missouri's ranked number 6 in America. Okay, they're a team that doesn't get a lot of talk here in Jacksonville. Now, this is a conference game, as you know. LSU at number 16 LSU at South Carolina. How about Alabama? Man, did they struggle until the fourth quarter? All of a sudden, they go to Wisconsin, which is a very difficult place to play. But I'm telling you, Bama, man, they catch a huge break. They get this game at noon. And I'm one of those who believes in college football, the difference between playing at noon or 7:30, and 8 is absolutely astronomical. All right, Bama gets this game when folks are dealing with the Friday night hangover. They're still a big favorite here, 16 points. A couple of other looks in the SEC. Another non-conference matchup. Ole Miss goes to Wake Forest. All right, you have Georgia going to Kentucky, an SEC game. Boy, 24 points. Georgia's scary right now. They are scary good. And let's see, nothing else really does anything for me there. Since we're on the subject, let's just take a brief look at it. Let's go to the vaunted and much heralded Atlantic Coast Conference. Florida State, Memphis at 6.5. A little bit of Florida State money still coming in, sitting around 6.5 or 7, which surprises me. Your Hurricanes get Ball State. Now,
they're terrible.
They are terrible, but this is one of those games where you just want to keep that well-oiled machine churning, and you want to get out of there without anyone being beaten up.
Same with FAMU last week. I thought Mario kept the guys in way too long for me, but that's like his attitude. That's the kind of guy he is. Ball State, I think CBS, they rank every program every week from like 1 to 125, however many there is. Ball State came in at 119 this week. So they're not exactly like Northern Illinois, another MAC team that we saw last week. This should be a beating. And USF coming up after that in Tampa. And after what I saw against Alabama, that is not a walkover.
A message to youngsters who want to get into the field of sports media. Never bite off the hand that feeds you. But here goes. This week in the Atlantic Coast Conference may be the worst week that I have ever seen of any conference scheduling. Are you ready for this? I'm going to read it off real quick.
Ready.
Memphis at Florida State. Now Lawrence Stample will be there. My brother will be there. Okay?
That's actually a decent game.
And 16 good folks from Tampa making the trip over, including his daughter, my niece Morgan, who's a freshman this year in Tallahassee. La Tech at NC State.
Yikes.
The exception of that BC-Missouri game, which we did talk about, number 24 BC at number 6 Missouri. Your Miami Hurricanes, ranked 10th in America, hosting Ball State.
Yeah, pretty bad.
VMI goes to Georgia Tech.
Pretty bad.
You know, Georgia Tech, after beating Florida State, lost to Syracuse.
Dude, I watched that game. That was on the second screen. Syracuse is fun as hell. Like, Kyle McCord was slinging it on Saturday. If you don't remember, that's the guy from Ohio State last year who really only lost like 1 or 2 games, and he got kicked out of town. That kid, I mean, he is way too good to be at Syracuse. That offense was humming. They're going to give people issues this year.
West Virginia, Pittsburgh is a backyard brawl. That deserves
great rivalry.
Some love. UConn goes to Duke. Okay? That's a hoop game. I'm all in. If we're hooping,
Final Four.
There you go. North Carolina Central goes to North Carolina. Hated that from Max Johnson. It went down on opening day. Of course, Brad Johnson's son and for those
former
of you who know,
LSU player.
Right, Brad Johnson married Mark Rick's sister. Yeah, Max Johnson was at both LSU and Texas Texas A&M before going over to North
yeah.
Carolina. Virginia Tech goes to Old Dominion.
They've lost that game before.
But you talk about athletic directors. Is Vitek trying to pick up a paycheck here? Who the hell goes to Old Dominion? I honestly didn't even know Old Dominion had a football team until I just read this. Okay?
Oh, my God.
Ole Miss, Wake Forest. We referenced that earlier. Ole Miss is ranked 5th in America. That'll be a good game. Maryland, Virginia. Okay, that's an old ACC rivalry. For those of you who forget, Maryland now is in the Big Ten. But still, I mean, come on.
And they suck.
Do you stop for a Maryland-Virginia game? No, you don't. San Diego State, California. Okay, that is the best ACC matchup of all time.
Literally on the Pacific Coast.
Hey, ACC fans, lay off the booze because we want you to be up at 10:30 at night for Toe Meets Leather for this ACC grudge match between San Diego State and California.
Dude, that's going to end at like 2:30 in the morning.
That'll be the game I'll
Holy
end up
crap.
watching. I mean, we have Jaguars football, obviously, on Sunday, so I'll be off the booze. But I love late-night football. I miss late-night Pac-12. It was cool to hear Brando last week do that Texas Tech-Washington State game, which I guess now is the Pac-2. But
by the way, former Pac-12 teams this year have been amazing, like the USC's and the UCLA and those two.
What, Oregon State and Washington State?
And Cal and Stanford.
Oh, former teams.
Pac-12 teams,
Okay.
yeah.
So there you go. That is this week in the Atlantic Coast Conference. All right, let's head to this break. If you didn't hear, former Gator Kadarius Toney did sign today for the Cleveland Browns, so no idea if he'll be, not dressed, or actually I didn't even see if it was a practice squad signing or if it was legitimately to the 53-man roster, but we'll certainly keep our eyes on that. Tomorrow's show, our emphasis is totally going to change towards Jacksonville and Cleveland, and that'll be all day here. Well, I won't speak for anyone else. That'll certainly be our program beginning tomorrow night from 6 to 8.
Join Hacker, Leon, and Coach Campo for the window world of Northeast Florida 5th quarter.
From Island Girls Cigar Bar on Gate Parkway.
Yes. 2 hours after the final whistle on game day. Brought to you by Von Rowan Lawn on 1010XL.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Former Jaguars corner and first-year head football coach at Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows, K-12, Aaron Beasley here. Are you looking for an A-rated K-12 school prioritizing academics, arts, and athletics? Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows offers a rigorous curriculum to develop strong minds with an additional focus on growing good hearts. DCSB has been an A school for 8 years, and our tuition is free. Now enrolling. Apply at baymeadowscharter.org.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experience, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Big Sirs here. Join me, Hacker, and Coach Campbell Sunday for the Window World of Northeast Florida's 5th quarter live from Island Girls Cigar Gate Parkway. Enjoy all-day happy hour and my cigars. It's the 5th quarter Sunday live at Island Girls Cigars Gate Parkway.
Guys, feeling deflated in the bedroom? ED, low T, no energy? If your stuff is broken, call 904-STROKEN or 904stroken.com. No shots and the first treatment now free. Fix your ED at 904stroken.com.
Salvatore's famous pizza now in Jacksonville, Tapestry Park off Southside Boulevard. In honor of our favorite player, number 16, Salvatore's large pizza with lots of mozzarella and one topping, only $16. Coupon at salvatores.com. Dine in, pick up, and delivery. $16 for a large Salvatore's pizza with lots of mozzarella and one topping. Coupon at salvatores.com. Tax and delivery extra.
Roof damage? Call before you claim. Green Law Group, fighting insurance companies for you. They will work for you when you have roof damage. Don't let your insurance deny you. Don't call an adjuster. Call Green Law Group at 904-302-7055. Remember, if you have roof damage, call Green Law Group before you claim. They've settled millions and will work hard to get your claim and new roof. Green Law Group. Call before you claim. 904-302-7055.
Pickett here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
Chelsea here, ready to upgrade your home and save big? Now's the perfect time with Renewal by Anderson. For a limited time, it's buy one, get one 40% off on all windows and doors. That's right, buy one, get one 40% off plus flexible financing options to fit your budget. Our custom-built, energy-efficient windows and doors are made with Vibrex, 2 times stronger than vinyl, giving you the durability you need and the savings you want. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to book your free consultation today. Don't wait, this offer won't last. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613. Proud partner of the Florida Gators.
Atlantic Self-Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self-Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving? They can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
Thermal Engineers is hiring. Thermal Engineers is a commercial HVAC contractor serving North Florida for over 20 years. Qualified technicians and installers. How does top pay, 401k, and full benefits sound? And a signing bonus. Is it time for a positive change in your career? Join the family-oriented commercial HVAC contractor at Thermal Engineers. Call 230-1172 or go to Thermal Engineers, Inc., an equal opportunity employer.
This is Hayes Carlyon for Skylife Elite. Have you ever thought about aircraft ownership as another potential revenue stream and as a tool for tax savings? Put your tax money to work for you while enjoying the benefits of private personal travel. Skylife Elite has over a decade of experience in business aviation and can guide you through the process with their expert staff. Call my friends over at Skylife Elite at 490-9332 or find them at flyskylife.com to get the rundown on everything owning an airplane can do for you.
Tailgate Special Alert. 3 pounds of marinated chicken, 2 pounds of marinated steak tips, 2 pounds of fresh ground beef, and 2 pounds of homemade sausage for only $80 to feed your crew.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Family owned and managed for 20 years, Hidden Hills Golf Club boasts a unique and welcoming golfing atmosphere. Visit us at hiddenhillsgc.com to book your next round on our Arnold Palmer signature course. You'll be glad you did.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since '87.
That final day on Miami. We've kind of relived that over the last couple of hours. I don't want to call it a split fan base, but I think it's pretty interesting how several are still saying it's the defense that allowed those big plays. And they did allow those two big plays. And Doug Peterson, called out the defense and to do better coaching on that side of the ball. I'm still more concerned with the screen game, if that makes any sense. But those big plays are going to set up now for the next couple of opponents, especially if Tyson Campbell is unable to give it a go. To me, though, it's all about the offense. Okay, this week's opponent, Cleveland, is opposite of what you saw last week with Dallas. Dallas is number 2 last week's opponent in Miami. Miami was second in scoring a year ago, nearly 30 a game. Jacksonville held them to 20, including 7 in the first half. This week, you take on a defense that was number 1 in total defense in 2023, and they only gave up more than a smidge more than 21 points a game. So that is what you are looking at. In my opinion, it's now on the offense to find a way to get some things going.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
Hacker Nation is coming up. What'd you make of Peterson bringing up coaching on the defense like that?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I thought Doug was a little, what's the word, maybe salty yesterday.
Good.
Yeah.
I love it.
I do too. Because I thought some of the questions our colleagues in the media asked were fair, certainly. Because they did get conservative in the second half. I mean, that's reality. They threw the ball and ran the ball about a 50-50 split. But, look, last time I checked, you're paying a quarterback $275 million. I don't know, Rick, maybe throw the ball more than 21 times would be a thought.
Unbelievable.
Brian Thomas and Gabe Davis were doing really well in the first half, and you just decide not to throw them the ball in the last 20 minutes of the game.
12 fourth quarter yards.
Yeah. No, it was awful. It was awful. So, and I think the coaching staff and Doug Peterson, Press Taylor deserve criticism for that. They let one get away. But, you got to move on to Cleveland. As we talked about last night, it's a big game, man. It's a big game for the Jaguars. And I was talking to some folks up in Cleveland. They got injury problems.
Oh, yeah.
David Njoku's probably not going to play. And not so much that the names are what people will recognize here, but imagine the Jaguars being without Chad Muma, Ventrell Miller, and Roy Robertson-Harris, and Evan Ingram. That's essentially what Cleveland's going to be without on Sunday. Their third and fourth linebacker, rotational but an active defensive tackle, and their starting tight end are probably all not going to play in this game.
And it looks like their tackles will return.
Conklin will. I'm not sure about Wills yet.
They were sorely missed.
Yes.
Against Dallas. And Deshaun Watson looked just awful. Maybe he is dealing with some of the latest that's been out about yet another investigation, but that is going to be incredible. I got to give it up to this before I have you tell us what's coming up tonight. This is from the 8043 who just said, oh, the Jags are in trouble if they're in a rap battle and it breaks out now with Tony signing the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. Hey, look, Cleveland's got weapons.
Oh, yeah.
You add Kadarius Toney to Elijah Moore and Jerry Jeudy and Amari Cooper. I mean, you could do a lot worse than that. The quarterback just can't get him the ball right now.
Yeah, and Nick Chubb, of course, the pup. And, Bradley Chubb last week, the pup. OBJ last week, the pup. The resting officers had Jacksonville. They tried to keep those guys out of the game. Yeah. They end up showing up, so we'll see. All right, what's coming up?
Yeah, obviously a lot of Jaguar talk, but a lot of college football talk tonight. Connor O'Gara, Saturday Down South. Love talking college football with Connor O'Gara. And I'm going to ask Gator fans something right out of the gate. When the Gator fans turn on a coach, there is no coming back, right? Will Muschamp, Jim McElwain, Dan Mullen. When the opinion happened that they needed to go, they ultimately went because none of those guys won after that opinion was formed. What happens, Rick, if Billy Napier, who is very soured on by a lot of Gator fans right now, what if he wins on Saturday?
That's a good thing.
And then what if he beats Mississippi State?
That's a better thing.
And then what if he beats UCF and Kentucky, and all of a sudden they're 5-1?
I don't need him winning all of them, but a few of them would be okay.
But I mean, just can Gator fans come back on Billy, or are they past the point of no return?
Win all those games, have Florida State pound them, and keep them here in town. Yeah, I mean, that's what there's no doubt. I want him to win enough games to remain as your coach.
You know what's funny about that? I said the same thing about Mike Norvell until he got really, really good.
Yeah.
So I think there's an interesting comparison.
Get to me
there
on Monday about Mike Norvell.
Well, that's true, too.
All right, have fun show.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, there he goes. That is Hacker Nation. I'll be joining Hacker Nation as well, coming up in 1 hour. So if you miss me, I'm coming back. Hey, how about Thursday? We got our first Miller Lite remote of the year, Brew and Barrel, out on Beach Boulevard. I'm going to have 4 Jaguar tickets, all right, 2 sets of 2. So that'll be 6 to 8 on Thursday at Brew and Barrel on Beach Boulevard. Thank you to Miller Lite. Thank you to Lawrence Stample. Thank you to JJ LaSelva. Hackers next. My name's Rick Ballou. Talking to you tomorrow at 6.
He's fearless in the face of danger.